everyone. My name is Honey and I'm an education officer at the NMRA. Welcome back to the NMRA Education Series. So today our speaker, Dr. Ahmed, will be covering the risk of bias and R. So please feel free to get involved and interact with the session using the chat. Just to let you guys know, as you probably already know, the feedback forms will be posted at the end of the session. So please do fill that in to get your certificate. And now I'll just pass it on to Dr. Ahmed, if that's okay.
First of all, I want you to do a very, very simple equation. So this is root of 9. Yeah, this is a very, very simple equation. I just want you to do your first code so you know what you're doing. Put in SURT and brackets N, and then we'll get 3. So I will do this, and let me know if anybody has any difficulty with this. Obviously, can you still see my screen? Neeraj, can they still see screen?
Hi, sorry.
Can you guys all still hear me?
Honey? Hi. Your audio is cutting off a little bit, and I don't think, for me, it's just a black screen, sorry. Okay, I can see your screen. Yeah. Okay, I can see your screen.
Yeah, but can you guys still hear me? Is it clear? Cutting off.
I think your audio is still cutting out a bit.
Still hear me? Oh, okay, let me just switch over. I might have to log in back from my phone. 1 second. I might have to do a combination of my phone and my computer. The stupid book. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah. I think there's just an echo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna eliminate that. Okay, there shouldn't be any echo now. Okay, can you guys hear me clearly now? Can you guys see my screen? So I want you guys to do the first formula, which is the square root of 9. And anybody have any issues with this, let me know. Okay. Rita, any issues with this? You guys managed to do it? We managed to do the square root of 9? Can pause it? Any problems so far? Let me just unmute some other people. Harjeet, any issues with this? You logged into POSIT. Can you do this, the square root of 9?
Yes, yeah, I've done that.
Very good. Michelle, any issues so far? No? Nafisa? I just want to make sure you guys are logged into POSIT and you can do it. Nafisa? Let's try something else.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. Just a moment.
Okay, fine. Blessing? Have you managed to do it?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Oh, yeah. And you've managed to do the equation?
I'm on it, sir.
Okay. So square root of 9. Actually quite simple. Okay. So, and then we'll move on in a minute. Maria, did you manage to do it? The equation? Yes? Okay, let's try somebody else. Odette, you managed to do the equation?
I managed.
Very good. Fine. So we're going to move on. If anybody has any issues, can they write in the chat, and then we will try and answer. But this is probably the simplest equation. Now, the next one, I just wanted to go over the packages we installed last time. The first one, actually the most important one, the tidyverse is basically allows you to visualize and manipulate data. This is quite useful. And Meta is the basic meta-analysis package, allows you to run different types of meta-analysis. The Meta 4 is a more advanced, in fact, the best meta-analysis package that is available in R. and is basically, the interesting thing is Meta actually uses metaphor for a lot of its functions. So basically piggybacks on, but Meta is easier to use and simpler. Yeah. So we went over this, the installation of the packages. Yeah. Tidyverse, Meta, Metaphor. Now the interesting thing is that I want you guys to use this book, Doing Meta-Analysis in R. This is a great guide for anybody who wants to do these analysis on their own. Yeah. And to learn more, right? Because I won't be able to do every single thing in this in these short sessions. But so you can go to this meta-analysis, Doing Meta-Analysis now. You can just search, the whole book is available. It's brilliant, actually. I use it quite a bit. So you can, if anybody not done so, they can go to Doing Meta-Analysis now and find these 3 packages with Tidyverse, Metaphor. Yeah, so that's one way of doing it. Then you can go to these packages and install all 3 of them. Yeah, and then you also need to install developer tools, and then this. So all of this you can find if you go to this book, which is Meta-Analysis with R, and go to page 2.2, which is packages, and then also install dev tools, and then this this extra section from GitHub. Yeah, so that would be quite useful to do. Yeah, anybody have any issues with this? Please let me know. Yeah, so I'm just going to check on the chat if anybody has any issues with this. 1 second. Guys, anybody have any issues with this so far? Let me check. Sutraman, any issues with this so far? No? Faith, any issues with this so far?
Doctor,
Yes.
I was unwell last week, so I couldn't attend last week's webinar. So I'm pretty much lost here.
Okay. So basically what you have to do is you have to, oh, this is going to be complicated. But in essence, you have to go and find POSIT R and install all these packages. Yeah, let me just say there seem to be, yeah, you have to find POSIT R on Google. Basically go into Google, search POSIT R, and then you have to log in. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to do every single step with you this time because, but in essence, you have to go and basically search for POSIT R, and then you have to create a login and a password. And then you go in and then you select POSIT Cloud, and then this workspace will appear. Yeah. So all you have to do is POSIT R. Yeah. You create a login and a password, and then you install these packages. Yeah. That's absolutely critical. Otherwise, the rest of this won't work, and then you can run your first book. I thought I'd go over this with you guys.
So after the login, I'm sorry, just to confirm, after the login and the password, I just need to install Tidyverse, Meta, and Meta.
Yeah. So you need to go to this package, which is Meta-Analysis book, which is Meta-Analysis with R, and actually go through all the steps. And that's one of the reasons I want to cover this book as well. So if you go to 2.2 to packages, you will be able to install all of these packages. Yeah. And that's quite useful. And that will allow you to do all the exercises in this book as well, which makes it life so much easier. Yeah. Now the other problem is that if you want to do all the stuff, there will be you get a slight error message, which is if you put in library meta, open brackets meta, then what happens is that this error message appears, and then you go into you have to install these extra packages to make this book work. Well, you might as well, guys, do this. Yes. So make sure all these packages are installed. If you guys go to meta-analysis, Doing Meta-Analysis in R, this book, and then you go in and you install all these packages. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys did some of this last time, but I just wanted to complete the process, and then we'll be able to do the exercise, which we're going to do a complete meta-analysis today, based on the file we had last time. Yes? Okay, let me go back and see if anybody is having issues with this. Wait. Guys, anybody having any issues? Insia? Faith? Odette? Any issues so far? You guys
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Emma, any issues so far?
I think I'm good.
Very good. So you guys have installed the packages. You found this book, Meta-Analysis with R, yes? Because the reason I want you to install all of this is that will allow you to do all the exercises in this book, which will make your life easier. Yeah. So then there's this other issue, because the problem is the meta, the latest one doesn't work that well with the package. So you have to do library, open bracket meta, and then it will find this link for you, which is this tidyverse link. And then what you do is no tiny URL link, and then where you go is you install the packages from here. Yeah, that will be probably be another step. Yeah, so you get to see all this installation going on and taking a bit of time. And this is the book as well, if you guys want to look for it. I'm doing meta-analysis. This book is brilliant and absolutely so helpful. So while those people are doing the installations, and they can write in the chat if they have any issues, I will now show you an example. Now, we discovered this the last time, how to prepare your Excel spreadsheet. We did do an Excel spreadsheet as well, which can look like this: author, n.e, mean.e, s. So this is the number, this is the mean, this is the standard deviation, then this is the control group number, mean, standard deviation. Yeah, so that's quite. Now there is another. Now I want you to load up, those who are doing this, another data set. We're not going to use a data set today, but this is an exercise to get you guys to do this, which is that you go to the guide, you go to meta-analysis with R 2.4 data preparation, and then you click on this internet bit, and then you can download this as an Excel file. Yeah, and let me see if everybody's keeping up with all of this. Sorry, because we've got people at different levels, it makes it slightly difficult. Let me pick on somebody. Lawrence, have you been able to keep up? Lawrence, have you been able to keep up?
Hi. No, I have like a bad poor connection right now.
Okay, don't. I
Sorry.
mean, you can always do it a little bit later.
Yes.
Then let's ask somebody else. Najwa, have you managed to keep up, Najwa? Najwa, have you managed to keep up so far? Helena, have you managed to keep up with the installation so far? Maya, have you managed to keep up so far? No? There's a lot of silence in this classroom today. If you guys don't tell me, then I don't know where you are with and I can't help you. Muhammad?
Yes, I've just downloaded the suicide prevention list. I'm with you.
Very good, very good. All right, so let's move on. For those who've had difficulty, we will go back a step. Now, what you do now is you go to, as we discussed before, you go to upload, and then you go to choose file. Upload, choose file, and then suicide prevention. Yeah, upload, choose file, suicide prevention, and then voila, the file is uploaded. That doesn't mean that you can work on the file, because you still, there's interesting enough another step, which is import data set. And then you import data set, and then you say suicide prevention, and then the data will be imported. Yeah, this is the spreadsheet. I just wanted to show it to you. Yeah, the spreadsheet that we're importing. Yeah, now let's see if everybody's been able to keep up. So again, let's go through the steps again. What I want you to do is, for those who don't know, is basically go to this meta-analysis with R book and go to 2.2, which is packages, upload, basically install all these packages on POSIT R. And then after that, there's a slight problem, which is library meta. And then you have to basically install these further packages. That's fine. Once this is done, it's easier. And then download this file from the internet, and then suicide prevention. And then after that, I want you to basically import dataset. And import dataset, I want you to choose this file, and then it'll come in. Yes. Now let's just see if everybody's been able to keep up with all of these steps. I think it's fairly straightforward. Emma. Oh yeah, somebody's got the hand up. Oh, Vishwa. Vishwa, have you been able to keep up with all this?
Yes, sir. What did you tell about downloading the meta from library? Can you just please repeat that? Yes, I have been able to keep up.
Okay, look, what I said is that go to this book. So you go to meta-analysis with R, this book, yeah? You go to 2.4, which is data preparation import, and you download the suicide prevention XLS from the internet, yeah? And once you've downloaded it, then you upload it, yeah, using upload, and then you import that. Once it's in the cloud, you import data sets, and then you should be able to bring it up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I did that. The previous step to this.
Sorry, the previous.
Upload. The previous step to before uploading the Excel, you said we have to download some package.
Yeah. So you have to go. So.
Yeah, this one.
Did you attend the last week's session?
Yeah, I did attend that, and I have downloaded the Meta 4 and Tidyverse.
Okay, so in this case, I want to install
that,
some more packages. So in so I want you to go to this meta-analysis with R book, go to 2.2 where it says packages, then install packages, the cut and paste this code, install package Tidyverse meta 4. Yeah, you need to do this. And then next 2.3 is these packages, install packages, yeah, this code. Yes, can you see? Install packages,
okay.
Developer to install package. And then there's another problem, which is that it has a newer version. We need an older version. So what you do is you put library, open brackets meta, and then it will give you another area to go to. And that's install package. Usually it's simpler, but the thing is that the reason this is getting a bit complicated is that we're using all the stuff with this meta-analysis R book, but we need an older version. So this is why you need this as well. Yeah, is that clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a law. It's 1, 2. Sorry, my apologies. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, and then the 6th one will be through library meta. And then you've got all your packages. And then I want you to upload the spreadsheet, which is in 2.4. Yeah. And then once the spreadsheet is uploaded, then you import as a file. And I want to just do all these steps. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've been able to. Let's just see anybody else had any issues. Any Sudraman, any issues so far?
No, just I didn't attend the last 3 sessions, but I did catch up on YouTube. But I did want to ask if it is okay if I do this on RStudio instead of POSIT-R.
Yeah, it is. The reason I'm using RStudio, rather than RStudio, is that because it's more accessible. This one you can just use it anywhere. And for this session, that made sense rather than getting people to do. And RStudio installation can take time. But there are some advantages using RStudio. And one of the big advantages using RStudio is it's free and you can use it continuously. Whereas with this one, there's a 25-hour limit unless you pay, I think, so they're £3 a month or something, which is still cheap. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fine. So I think any questions? So anybody, let's pick on 1 or 2 other people and then move on. Rita, any issues so far? Harjeet? Solongo?
No issues so far.
Very good. All right, so let's move on.
There's no issue. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So first of all, important, we discussed this before, but it's important how you name the columns of your spreadsheet. The column name should not have any spaces. You can use underscore or points to separate the column names. This is why you saw that this is like mean.e or n.e. You can't use any unusual characters like, a, these dots on top of the A or of any weird characters you can't. There's no need to format the columns. You can't have more than one sheet on the spreadsheet, and you can't have empty columns. Yeah, it's very, very important to understand. Only one sheet, don't have empty rows. Yeah. So the one we uploaded is what is called the suicide prevention sheet. This is the degree, severity of what the individuals think about, consider a plan to end their life. Yeah. So, for example, this one is a suicide prevention sheet. So this is the total number of patients, for example, and this is the mean of this is on a scale actually. So this is a mean of the number of patients who want to do who want to commit suicide. So, so 14.98% in essence of these 90 patients. Well, actually no. This is to clarify. This is on a scale. Yeah. So there's the mean scale on the scale. The mean is 14.5. I don't know actually what the scale is. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because what we can do is now we can see the data. Now, can you guys see the data? Yeah, you should be able to see the data if you import it like this. Yeah, so let me just ask if you guys can see the data. Oh, Nafisa, can you see the data?
Yes, I can see it, but I'm sorry, I won't be able to continue because I have to take my iftar. I'm fasting.
Okay, no problem.
I will continue later.
Okay, done. Sudraman, were you able to do it?
Yeah, I was.
Very good, very good. So we're making some progress now. Thank you. So fun. So you can see now, this is very nice. You can see that your data is uploaded here. Now, last time we did a test file. Yeah, that's very important because we're going to come back to that test file. This was just so you can understand importing data, which can be quite difficult sometimes. Yeah, and now you can do something called glimpse. Now, glimpse will allow you to see this data. So if you guys can run this code, which is glimpse open bracket suicide prevention. You want to save time. If you want to save time, you can go to 2.5.1 in the meta-analysis with R book and just cut and paste. But you can also type it, glimpse suicide prevention. This will allow you to see the data. Yeah, there's another way of looking at the data. Let's see if everybody been able to do this because I want to run you guys to run certain commands and see how that works out. Okay, Rita, have you been able to follow? Harjeet, Solongo, Michelle, have you guys been able to follow so far?
Yes.
Wihan, has it been all right?
Yep, everything's good so far.
Celestine, yes. Anissa works with me as Joe. Have you been able to follow all the steps so far?
Yeah, I'm on the last step doing the glimpse bit.
Very good, very good, very good. So glimpse.
When I tried using the glimpse, they say there's no function called that. I think perhaps I forgot to load the libraries.
Ah, yes, sorry. There's one step I might have forgotten. So which is that you have to do library. Sorry, I forgot about this. So library. So you have to nothing can be used without uploading the library. Sorry. So you can see it in my code here. Library DMETAR, library tidyverse, and library meta. If you can do all three of these, upload all three of these. So in the sense, the library means that when you install a package, that's not enough. When you need to, for using it, it's like installing a program, then you have to turn the program on. Yeah. Guys, is that all right? So library, all three of these, and then let me just see if you guys are one step ahead of me, basically. Let's see if any issues so far. Sudraman, Rita, Harjeet, any issues?
None at all.
No issues.
To follow quite well.
Very good, very good. Now, so you can see sort of, you know, the data. Now, this is interesting. This is just a quick thing about how this all works. This is basically you have to choose a function, yeah? And don't be scared of this. This is about all the different functions that exist. Now, for us, we looked at or risk ratio, meta bin, yeah? Or if you want to, let's say, continuous, you will be like meta mean or meta con. So these are all the different functions. But we'll run one function today. Now, all of you guys, I assume, have the test file. You will have to type this code out yourself, by the way. This code will have to be typed out. You can use Paul Mandel instead of the I if you want, which is probably a bit better. Oh, no, sorry. No, this is Mantel Heisel. I mean, okay, so can you guys all type out this code? And then let me know if you can see the result. This is the file, the test file that was uploaded last time, okay? This is the test file. So this might be a slight issue for people who didn't attend the last session. But give it a go, and I'll show you guys the how we constructed a test file in a minute. Sudraman, any issues so far? Anisa?
No, I'm able to follow quite well. In fact, I did catch up in the last few sessions, of course.
Very good, very good.
Hi, sorry. I've inputted the code into the into R, and it just says like object test file not found.
Oh, okay. Let me show you my what I'll do is let me do a new share and show you guys. Because you might not have the test file. Because if in the last one we uploaded a test file.
Yep. So should I like switch to the test file from like the suicide prevention one?
Yeah,
Instead? Right,
yeah.
okay.
Test file. I'm just uploading my poser. I seems to have frozen a bit in a sense because when you don't use it, it's asleep. But if you run that code, I'll show you the result that you'll get. Anybody else have any issues? Laura, have you been able to run the code?
Hiya, I'm just trying it now because I opened a new project. So I think the test file is in the other project.
Oh. Okay. What I'll do is let me new share. Let me do a new share. Now, you can now see my screen. As you can see, it's ridiculously slow at the moment. I don't know if you guys are having an issue. Let me go on. Whose hand was up? Oh, Sudraman, your hand is still up.
Oh, sorry.
Did you have any questions? Why is it not showing me? My workspace is taking forever to turn on. But in essence, the code, let me just show you guys the code again. So this is the function meta bin. These are the what's called the variables: event.e, end.e, event.c, end.c. Summary measure is risk ratio. The method is Mantel Heisel. I'll go over this in a minute. And the data is the test file. And if you run this code, this gives you a very, very nice result. In the sense, it will show you, and you pause it, if I can get this to work, it will show you a very nice result. It will run the whole analysis for you in pause it. Yeah, which I really liked. Now, anybody have any issues with this so far? Let me just ask everybody if they've been able to run the code. Let me just go to this. Terminal. Stop sharing. I think it doesn't like me sharing the whole screen at all. Oh, my poser is frozen. Okay, let me share my screen again. Oh, what has happened? Why can't I find my PowerPoint? PowerPoint slide is here. I'll just share the whole screen for now. So have you guys all been able to run the code? Yeah. Let me do one more attempt at the sharing. Share screen. Window. Presentation is appeared now. Okay. So let me know if anybody have any issues with running this code. Rita, any issues so far? Anissa, any issues? Anissa, any issues with running the code so far?
Oh, I don't have the test file, so I'm way behind. Sorry.
You don't have the test file. Okay, let me show you how to make the test file, because this seems to be an issue. So the test file basically was, I can make it for you now. Zoom is having an issue. Share whole screen, entire screen. Share. Okay, so the test file, if we look at our code, is the following variables: event.e, number.e, event.c, and end. So let me cut and paste this. Now I'll create a new book. Okay. So event.e was the first one. Oh my God, it's looking so horribly big. And then the second one was number.e. The third one was event.c. And the fourth one is this one. Make this a bit smaller. Yeah. And then what I do is I put in 1, events 2. So these are the control group and the normal group. Yeah. So I've just put in various numbers. Yeah. And this I can save as a test file. So save it as test_file. And then I can do the same process of uploading it. Yeah. And then I can upload this file on POSIT. The mine is half dead at the moment. And then you can run this code. Yeah. So it's quite simple. If you create this file, test file, event.e, and so if I go back to the code and you guys create these 4, and then you can import, and then you can run this. And this is risk ratio, method is mantle-Heisel, and data is test_file. Yeah. Let me stop sharing for a second and then go back to the this new share. Oh, keeps having this issue with PowerPoint. It doesn't like PowerPoint. So whenever I go off, it doesn't like it. Let me do share one more time, share screen. It doesn't like it at all. Okay, I'll just do entire screen. Okay, now, Laura?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, any issues, Laura? Laura, you were saying?
Oh, sorry, it was muted. So I had a problem because it says I can't find the function MetaBin. Does that mean I didn't download everything
No, because
properly?
you haven't done library. You haven't done library.
Okay.
You have to do library. Without library, it won't work. So you have to do library. So library d meta, library tidyverse, library meta. Otherwise, it won't work.
Okay.
So if you do library and then you go to this code, and this I've really simplified it. Usually code is much more difficult, but I've kept this extremely simple for you guys. I've tried to simplify it as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you're able to do it now? Have you got the test file, Laura?
Yeah.
Very
I
good.
got-
That's from last time, yeah. Very good, very good. So let's hope this is working for everybody now and they're able to run their analysis, yeah? Because if you've done the steps in the right order, you should be able to do the analysis. The analysis should run. Let's ask the, and then let's go back to share screen. Presentation, finally. Okay, so let's ask the group if anybody's having any issues with running this code. Laura?
I am.
Have you managed to run the code?
Not yet.
Okay, let's pick on somebody else. Christelle? Have you managed to run the code? Mavi? Lawrence?
Yes, thank you, doctor.
Have you guys managed to run the code? Have you managed to get a result? Have you guys managed to get a result at all? Okay, so let me show you what I got. So let's go back to this. I don't like sharing my screen, the full screen, because it always has a problem, but whatever. This time I don't have a choice. So I show you. I ran this code, yeah? And you guys can see it. Meta bin event.e, end.e, event.c, end.c. Summary methods is risk ratio. Method is mantle Heisel. Mantle Heisel is the best method to use, and data was test file. And you can see that I've got these risk ratios. 3 studies were combined. Number of observations 80, number of events was 17, and it's used both fixed effect and random effects model, and it's got you a result. And now you've also got heterogeneity. So this is important to remember. Why is heterogeneity? Heterogeneity means, are you comparing grapes or are you comparing grapes and olives? Yeah. So this is always a problem in studies, that what is heterogeneity? So now let's just go back to everybody, because we need to finish off. We're going to go 15 minutes left. But whether or not everybody's understood so far. Has everybody been able to follow the steps and get through the analysis like I said?
Yes.
Very
Yes,
good.
I managed in the end. I had put a capital letter and it was just no capital letter.
Okay, let me try doing so let me just show you my code one last time. So you can see that I've got my analysis. So meta bin, event.e, end.e, event.c, end.c, then summary methods is risk ratio. Method is mantle Heisel. Okay. Now, and you've got a pooled risk ratio, which is an average, you know, of all the risk ratios. So you can see that the risk ratio varied 1, 1, 1.2, and it gave you an average. Yeah, use a random effects model and fixed effects model. What are random effects model and fixed effects? Now we need to go through that. Yeah. Now we ran our code, yay! What is a fixed effects model? Fixed effects model assumes that all effect sizes are from a single homogeneous population. A way to understand this is it assumes all the papers are grapes. So grapes vary in a specific way. The texture is not different, but they just vary in size. Yeah, size, or they might vary in the way that the degree of ripeness, for example. Yeah, but it's still a grape. So we can say this. The variation is fixed, which is EK, which means it's a fixed variation. Yeah. So observe, but they will say that observed sizes vary, but the true effect. So the variation we're saying is in a fixed way. Random effects says that no, there might be some olives in there. And that's quite important to understand. If there are some olives in there, that means that the variation is unpredictable. Even though an olive is green, it's actually very different. The texture is different, the taste is different, the chemical composition is different. The real world is more like there are olives mixed among the grapes. Yeah. So that is the random effects model. The random effects model makes the assumption that there is a distribution, which is the true distribution. The random effects model will contain this true distribution. Yeah. This is what we understand. When we do this, use this averaging technique, which is meta-analysis, we have to understand that the reality might be very different. Yeah. And the random effects model, the fixed effects model, makes an assumption that there is a fixed variation. The random effects model says, no, the real world biological models especially is not predictable. Yeah. So random effects model is a little bit different. Yeah. In the sense that the assumption that is made is that there is both a fixed effects, which is a fixed variation, so they could be different in size. They could be they could vary like a grape to grape, but then we say some of them are olives, so there is a variation we don't even know about. So this is the model that we use to calculate pooling, which is can be a random effects model or fixed effects model. Yeah, and this one is it gave us both in our result. Yeah, going back to our thingy code. If you put this extra comma in, you'll have been in a lot of trouble. So what method did we use? We used something called Mantel-Heisel. Now, what is Mantel-Heisel? And I go down, and Mantel-Heisel is the best method that you can use. Is basically used by Cochrane, is a default approach in MetaBin, and it basically is you don't necessarily need to know this formula. Yeah, in fact, you shouldn't learn this formula. It's just going to drive you mad. But it basically uses this to create a weight. A weight is basically means that it gives a different percentage power to each paper. It says this paper is better, this paper is worse. And this paper is basically got large, usually it's mostly based on numbering. So this paper is a very large paper. So this paper gets more weighting. This paper has less in it or has a very high error. Yes, standard error is very high, or the standard deviation is very high. Then that means that paper is a bad paper and therefore gets less weighting. And it gives this weighting according to this formula, and this Mantel-Heisel, which is the best formula that you can use. So we use Mantel-Heisel. That's why in the code it said MH, just to simplify your life. Yeah. Now there's another thing, which is that you can do a slight adjustment to actually no. Anyway, going back to the code. So I used Mantel-Heisel. Yeah. To the random effects model that we use, we'll talk about this in a minute, you can do a small adjustment, which is called a Knapp-Hartung adjustment. Yeah, but we'll discuss that in a minute. Now, what is heterogeneity? Now, heterogeneity means that the papers vary. Now, we talked about this. Are we comparing grapes? Are we comparing olives? Now, if there is a huge standard deviation in each paper, so let's say a paper comes in and says, well, you know what, this number is I have a height measurement here. Okay, what's the height measurement, you ask? And he says, well, one person was 3 foot 2 inches and the other person was 7 foot 4 inches. And you start thinking, my God, that doesn't make sense. How can one person be this? Is there a problem with the way you've done the paper? And this is heterogeneity. And heterogeneity is the variation. The more heterogeneity there is, the more differences there are between the papers, the more that you have ended up with a troublesome meta-analysis, which means that what are you comparing? Were you actually comparing? You weren't comparing grapes, you were comparing grapes and olives. Yeah. So there was a difference. For this, you use a Paul, for at least binary, use a Paul Mendel estimator. Now this, you're wondering, why am I going into all these estimators? But these are not complicated. You just have to know their names. And I actually haven't applied it in this code because we'll do that next time. But in essence, for heterogeneity, for the actual pooling, we use a Mantel-Heisel model. And for the heterogeneity, we're using a Paul-Mendel model to calculate the heterogeneity. Yeah. For this one, we use heterogeneity, which is the recommended one. And in this code, I haven't done a Paul-Mendel, but he is basically done. It will carry a result. Well, it probably has it. So it's already, to be honest, even though I haven't put it in the code, it actually has done it in this way. And I'll show you. If I go to do a new share, stop sharing, and then I'll do a new share. 1 second. Share full screen. And if you see my code, you can see that I've got both a fixed and a random fixed, because I haven't said which one to do. So it did both. Yeah. So it did a weighting. So the weighting is actually different. You can see in the fixed effects and the random effects model. You should always in medical papers do random effects model, if as far as possible. Yeah. Now heterogeneity, it is used. The Simon layered estimate. I don't want that. I use Paul-Mendel, but I will do that next time with you. I will change the model. Yeah, this the Simeon layered is a standard model, but it's basically old-fashioned now. We don't really use it anymore. Yeah, but you can see I've done Mantel-Heisel, and then in this case it's done Simeon because there's Simeon layered because I haven't said what to do. And then finally, I haven't done it, but the random effects model, I would make a small adjustment like a filter, which is the Knapp-Hartung filter. So those are the 3 things I would use here, and then you're done. Yeah, but you guys saw it's very, very simple, and you guys did your first meta-analysis already. Now, just before we finish, I can do a little bit more, and then we'll ask some questions. We've done this. 1 second. So Cochrane has had Mantel-Heisel, yeah, Mantel-Heisel for the weighting, for the pooling in essence. And so Mantel-Heisel is the best one. And for the heterogeneity, which is the second bit, which is R, the pooling is great, but are we looking at olives versus grapes? And that would mean that the heterogeneity is high. And the heterogeneity, if we use something called an I squared, the heterogeneity more than 50%, that's bad. Okay.